Hey folks, it's time for Frugal Prepper. I just kind of have put off making this video, hoping that something would come out that would help me to make sense out of why the police did not act, why they didn't go in. You know, I am no hater of the police. Most of my training and stuff comes from police officers or retired police officers. Uh, but there is a time when you have to act, right? There is a time when right equipment be damned, right having a rifle or a handgun, whatever you got, you go in and you act, right? You see, the problem here is that the Supreme Court rules that the cops have no duty to protect us, right? Yet people want you to give up your guns and rely on calling 911 and the police to protect you, but they have no legal obligation to protect you at all. Yet they get the fully automatic weapons, they get the short barreled rifles, they get the guns with the fun switches, they get the full body armor, they get the tactical vest, they get all the best equipment, all the best training. But yet they won't use it when it's needed, and instead they'll use the threat of violence and force to detain parents outside the school while their children are inside being murdered. You see, police officer might not have a duty to protect, but I do. I'm a father. My primary duty is to protect my children and my wife. It's hardwired into me. It's been hardwired into men since the beginning of men, since before there was a country called the United States, right? It goes way back. My duty, my primary duty, is to see that my family is safe and to protect them, then to provide for them, and then other things. But primary is to protect them at any cost, including giving my life. See, at the point in which you were cowards and you refused to go in, that just made you cowards. At the point in which you started to handcuff and tase and tackle parents who wanted to go in and save their children, you became complicit in the murder of those children. Whether that's legal or not, I don't know. But to me, from a moral standpoint, that makes you complicit. If I was there, I would take whatever gun I had, even if it's my little tiny 380 that I carry in my pocket, and I would go in that school and I would do everything that I could with me and my little gun to try to save my child. If it meant that I had to take a few rounds and he shot at me for a little bit and a couple other children got away, I'm fine with that. That's why I have life insurance, so that my family, if they're still alive after I'm dead, will have a means to support themselves, right? I have a duty to protect my children. Even though you don't, even though the Supreme Court has ruled that you have no duty to protect, I do. Now, I don't think that's going to happen here. I have talked to the police and talked to them about the training that they get. My wife's a teacher. She deals with the deputies, and they come to her school and do training. And they go in, right? If there's children inside and there's a shooter inside, they go in. They don't care if they have all the right equipment or the right SWAT team or the right tactics or whatever. They go in because there is a time in which you need to act. That action will save lives. They go in. And they train. They train not just for the SWAT team to go in with full body armor and gear and big assault rifles. They train as to what they're going to do with what they carry on them in that situation, right? I will also say that there are plenty of police, and not so much police, but a lot of security guards who I don't think they train and practice enough, right? They qualify once a year or every 2 years or whatever it is for their training. And other than that, they don't ever touch their gun other than take it on and put it off. I have found that I have to train consistently, every few months I need a training class. And then I need to take things away from that training class and I need to practice them over and over and over again. And I need to be able to take this gun that I carry at 25 feet, present it from my pocket holster, and place a shot on target in the head or the neck, right? Neck shots are important in case they are wearing some type of head armor. And I need to be able to do that. And from a pocket holster, I can do that in about 1.5 seconds. From an outside the waistband holster, I can do that in about a second. And that's something that I practice constantly, right? Just because a guy has body armor on doesn't mean you can't kill him, especially when you all have patrol rifles in your cars, right? You can grab a rifle, a 3,000 foot per second rifle round slices right through body armor. All of the light body armor that these people are wearing, sure, you can get extra super tactical plates and stuff, but we haven't seen any mass shooters wearing that stuff. It's all soft body armor. Rifle slices through that like butter. I'm sorry, but I could see, like, if you ran in and you're just getting shot at and you need to retreat back out and grab your rifle out your car and run back in, but to retreat back out and set up a perimeter and wait an hour while there's a girl on the phone calling 911 saying, where are the police? Why aren't they going to help us? He's shooting all my friends. Ridiculous. And then to arrest the parents and handcuff them and tase them because they want to go in and save their children, which is their primary duty in life. It's what they're hardwired to do as a human being. To stop them makes you complicit in the murder of those children. That's just how I see it. All I'm saying is, if that ever happens to me, I am going in. I am going to find a spot where there aren't as many police around that fence. I'm going to get in my car. I'm going to drive through that fence. I'm going to get into that school. And I am going to go try to save my child's life. And if I go to prison for it, if I get in trouble for it, that's fine. As long as I did everything I could to save my son's life. I think it's ridiculous that the police get all these good weapons, all this good training, all these good body armor, all the good fun switches and short barrels that they want, right? And yet they don't have any duty to protect us. And for us just to even to be able to get a short-barreled rifle requires gun trusts and paperwork and passport photos and fingerprint cards and 3 months of waiting just to own a short-barreled rifle. We have to protect ourselves. We hope that the police show up and they're ready to act and ready to do something, but we don't know if they are. We don't know. We have to protect ourselves, right? We have to protect ourselves. And yet these same politicians are going to come around and try to say, oh, the problem is that we need to take all your guns away. Because somebody did something stupid with guns, we need to take guns away from everybody, and then only the police will have guns. But the police won't use the guns to go in and protect you and to protect your children. They're just going to run away and scream, oh, we had a plan to have tactics. He was shooting at us. We couldn't have that. No, that's not how it works. That's not what that's precisely why the Second Amendment is written into the Constitution of the United States. That's why we still have the right to keep and bear arms. Because we have to protect ourselves at the end of the day. We have to protect our own families at the end of the day. We have to do what we have to do. And there certainly cannot be any negotiation that we're going to give up our guns as long as the police aren't legally obligated to protect us even. And even if they were, the chances of them getting there when you need them in time, very, very, very slim. So, You have to be your own first responder. You have to take care of yourself. You need to get training. You need to go learn how to shoot. You need to get training. You need to practice that training repeatedly. You need to spend money on ammunition to train and practice. And it's going to cost money. But you just have to do it. Buying a gun and carrying a gun, that's important. But remember, a lot of times when you see police get in a shooting, they just start mag dumping, just, and they're not even aiming, they're all side, especially like police that aren't SWAT, police that are just average beat cops. They get into a shooting and they're just mag dumping, 21 rounds, and they don't even hit the guy. Those bullets fly other places. They kill people, little girls in dressing rooms, and they don't get charged for it. They're, it's the police. They had to shoot. They happened to miss. It happens. We're not going to charge them for that. As a concealed carrier, as an ordinary citizen, if you have to defend your life or defend the life of your family, and one of your bullets misses and goes into a dressing room and kills a little girl trying on clothes, you are going to prison for murder. As a concealed carrier, you have to train and practice to a higher standard than the police do, because if you have to use your weapon, you will be held to a higher standard in a court of law. Right? You're going to just be looked at differently because you don't have a badge, but you chose to protect and defend yourself. And your goals are different than the police's goals, right? Remember, police consider success having the guy either dead or handcuffed in the back of a car. I consider success getting out of there, right? If I have to shoot, if I don't have to shoot, I don't need to detain the guy. I just need to break contact and get away. And then the police can come back and investigate, because that is their real job, is to investigate crime. I don't have to pursue the suspects. Police do. So there is a different standard that we're judged by. But if you carry a weapon, you need to train with it. And I mean, like, go get professional training. I put this off for so long, so sure that I could practice and I could come up with scenarios in my mind. And training opened my eyes to a whole new world of how you fight with a gun. And I still have way more training to take. I've taken a little break for a month to practice some things, like my weak-handed shooting from my last training class, until I get those more mastered, and then I'll be ready to go to another level of class. And you learn little nuances, little things that about the way you're shooting, the way you're holding the gun, the way you draw the gun, the way you holster the gun. You learn these things and you figure out, I've been doing it wrong for 15 years, and I have embedded that into my mind by continuing to practice the wrong things. And now I have to go back and break those habits. So the sooner you get some training, the better off you are. And don't go into training class with a competitive attitude or I'm better than that attitude. Go in it with a very humble attitude, and realize that if they come and talk to you like, hey, stop, you're doing it wrong, they're not mad at you, they're not angry at you, they're not yelling at you, they're trying to correct you, they're trying to help you. And take that advice humbly and try to practice it as much as you can until you master it. That's all I can say. It's just a real shame. My heart really goes out to those parents. I cannot imagine as a father having that happen to my child, especially if I was standing there and the police were preventing me from going in, and I decided to say, okay, well, you said I can't go in, I'm just going to stand here and yell at you. I can't imagine. I don't know how I live with that as a father. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Get ready to do some gardening. It's Tom, your Frugal Prepper.